Thank you for tuning into Crime 411. I'm Melissa Marquet. 18-year-old Orlando Perez was arrested a few days ago and charged with murder of 37-year-old Selena Reyes-Hernandez. Police say that Orlando and Selena met on the street during the very, very early morning hours the same day that this murder took place. Allegedly, Orlando and Selena decided that they were going to go back to Selena's apartment. There were photos that were recovered of Selena and Orlando in a bathroom. They did not give specifics. At some point, Orlando became aware of the fact that Selena was, in fact, transgender and still biologically a male. And that infuriated him. He left her home, went home, got a gun, and came back to her apartment, shooting her in the back of the head, killing her. He left her apartment again and returned a second time, shooting her lifeless body 3 more times. Now, whether you are transgender, gay, bi, straight, black, white, whatever, none of those things should be a death sentence for anyone. So let me be very clear so that nobody misunderstands what I'm saying. There is nothing that condoned murdering Selena Reyes-Hernandez at all. Orlando, guilty. He is exactly where he should be, in jail. Now, in a different way of looking at this, some people are saying that they believe that an 18-year-old heterosexual male could snap in a situation where he thinks he's engaging in sexual activity with a woman, only to find out that he's actually engaging in sexual activity with a biological male. I don't know if that's what happened here because the police did not really give very much information. We don't know whether or not they had any sort of intimate type of, engagement at all. They didn't say. The only thing they said was they met that day and that they had not been in a long-term relationship. Other than that, we don't know what happened. But for argument's sake, let's say that Orlando had gotten somewhat intimate with Selena and learned that she was still a biological male. Now, as a heterosexual man, I would imagine, or even as a heterosexual woman, I would imagine that you would feel deceived, tricked, betrayed, and if you're a heterosexual and you just learned that you've been engaging in sexual activity with someone of the same sex, I would imagine you would also be extremely disgusted. Not because it's a transgender person, but because you're a heterosexual, right? Now, at what point, if you are transgender and dating, do you have a moral obligation and responsibility to disclose that piece of information to a potential partner? Myself personally, I believe that you should disclose that information immediately before you even start talking to somebody. That gives that person an opportunity to make an informed decision as to whether or not they want to continue in their pursuit or back out, right? I mean, whether this is a transgender relationship or a heterosexual relationship, whatever it is, honesty and trust are the foundation of any relationship. So it should go without saying that you're that honest up front anyway. But for this conversation, I'm bringing it up again because this is a tremendous thing that you would be disclosing to someone. Now, some people say that they wait to see if there's a connection before they disclose that information because they're afraid that they're going to get turned down and be rejected. To me, I find that selfish. If someone has no problem dating you, knowing you're transgender, that person is a good fit for you. But to trick someone into dating you because you fear rejection in itself should be a crime, in my opinion. Now, again, let me make sure that everyone is clear. I am not saying that this person deserved to get murdered at all. But you definitely are putting yourself at a lot higher risk for violence as a transgender woman if you don't put that information out there right away. So I'm curious to see what you all think. At what point Should a transgender man or woman disclose that information to a potential partner? And do they bear some responsibility for putting themselves at risk of violence by not disclosing that information right away? I'm curious to see what you think. Feel free to comment, leave comments, questions, and please hit the subscribe button. We have about 60 or so thousand people that are watching our videos, but only like 2,100 subscribers. So if you'll go ahead and click on subscribe, we would definitely appreciate that. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, we're on Facebook, and our website is crime411.org. And I look forward to seeing what your thoughts are on this subject. Thank you so much.